Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is video number 2 of my figure skating coverage of the 2018 Olympic Games in South Korea, and I have my good friend Nicole here to discuss ice dance, the discipline
Yay!
I know very little about and that Nicole loves so much. So as you all
It's my
can
favorite.
expect, yes, you're so knowledgeable in the discipline. So as you can all expect, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions, Nicole, as I just state some of the facts from the results. And that's how it's going to go.
Sounds good.
Okay, so let's just
I'm
get
excited.
started. It was a battle, Nicole, between the French, Gabriela Papadakis and Guillaume Cizeron, with your favorite Canadians, Tessa Virtue and Scott Moir. To be honest, I had no idea what was going to happen, but it kind of seemed like the edge was going to go towards the French. And I think they probably could have won had they not had that costume malfunction in the short dance. What is your take on all of this?
Okay, so I'm a little biased because they're like the Canadians are my favorites. It's very like if you know me at all, like it's very clear
You're
that like
biased, but also
I love them.
realistic.
Yeah, not delusional,
No,
okay?
no,
Like
no.
I there's
Mm-mm.
some that can be delusional. And I really did think that they were going to lose coming in here. Except I would say around nationals, I kind of noticed the wind was starting to kind of shift a little bit. And I didn't know if it was enough to do it in that short amount of time to really swing it in the Canadians' favor. But I really think that the thing that helped them was when they were announced flag bearers. Honestly, I kind of think that's what pushed it over the edge because when that happened, it's like they became legends. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like they had this like legends narrative all of a sudden, and I really think that they needed to kill it. Like they couldn't just come in here and have mistakes and win. They really needed to skate clean. My friend calls it going God mode. They had to go God mode like twice, and they had to, and they did. Um, I was still stunned. Like I was still just kind of like shocked beyond belief. But once I saw the 122, I started crying on my couch. That didn't really stop for about 30 minutes, and it was
Mm-hmm.
a little embarrassing. But, um,
So you said they
I
were
calmed
given
down
like
and I was excited.
legend status. I don't think they were scored that way because Tessa and Scott were
No,
lower in PCS than the
yes,
French.
exactly. I think that it helped them in that they could do it.
Okay.
Like once they had that legend status, it became a possibility. Whereas before that, I think it was 100% sewn up. But I think that once they had that, like they're actually kind of legends. It kind of opened the door a little bit, where it was like it's possible. It's not probable, but it's still they could actually do it if some freak accident were to happen and they skated clean, and then what do you know, that's actually what happened.
Yeah, that costume malfunction was not expected at all. I mean, Gabriella had been wearing that same dress in the short dance all season long. No problem.
Hmm.
I did not expect to see such nipple exposure, especially at the end. But she
Yeah,
did her best to kind of contain it all within the program because it happened from the very beginning, didn't it?
it did. And okay, can we talk about like I really think that it's so unclassy of NBC because I know that NBC did it. I feel like Canada did it as well, but I'm not quite sure about that. I know for sure NBC did it where they played it again, like in slow motion where it happened. And it's like, you know
Oh,
what?
yikes.
She's like, what, 22, 23 years old, and she just, like, this is her first Olympics, and that happened. Like, you cut away, like, protect her a bit. Like, like, just no, that really upset me, and I felt bad for them because I really love the French. Like,
Hmm.
if you like go back to the very first like recap that I did with you, which was 2016 Worlds, like I went like on and on about how amazing their free dance is and how it's like one of my favorites ever. The past 2 years, I haven't liked their material as much. I really didn't like the Moonlight Sonata all that much. I kind of feel like it's music that I reserve just for Gordieva and Grinkov and anyone else who uses it. I'm just kind of underwhelmed by it. But they are amazing skaters, and I fully expect them to rule the next quad. Like, I fully expect them to go out there and win 4 back-to-back world titles again, um, and then skate in Beijing. I
Yes,
almost
in
call it Tokyo, but
2022.
Tokyo's 2020. Yeah, they're gonna skate in Beijing, and I fully expect them to win. Like it. I'm not that sad for them because it wasn't their last Olympics. You know what I mean? It wasn't like
Mm-mm.
I'm sad because like I wish that they had skated clean enough to their potential, but also like I know that they have another shot at this, and like I know they're gonna continue. So I'm really happy for them in that way, and they were amazing in the free dance though. I do want to like after having that like nip slip in the short, like I feel like I would be just a mess mentally and I would be so scared
Yeah.
going there in that free skate and wanting to like do a 4 minute program would just terrify me and I feel like I wouldn't want to like I wouldn't be there fully,
Mm-hmm.
but they killed it and they were amazing and props to them for that. But really, going back to like Virtue and Moyer, they were the best that they have been all season
I was gonna
in both
ask
the
you
short
that.
and the free dance. They were the best that they have been. Also, I would say they were the best that they have been since last year's 2016-17's Grand Prix final. I think that
Mm-hmm.
this was like incredible. The lifts were amazing. They brought back the lift where he's doing sexual things to her. It looks like they really just like they fought for every single point. Like I feel like they were taking the criticisms as they came quickly because they changed that lift. If you remember, they changed
I
that
do.
naughty lift and then they changed it right back. And they got a level 2 on the talk team event and then they, you know, made it as clean as possible in the individual event. And I feel like they were just on the ball and rolling with it, and they didn't give up the fight until like the very last second. And good for
Yes.
them for that because they needed to.
They were, as I would like to say, very explosive while still maintaining superb control, which is really hard to do, I imagine. In ice dance, they did not look intimidated by the French whatsoever, which hasn't always been the case this season. You know, they let
Mm-hmm.
some of their
Of
elements
course.
slide, like at the Grand Prix final as an example. But no, they left everything out on the ice. They wore their heart on their sleeves. Man, they could not have given it any more. I'm kind of sad that they didn't win in PCS, but I'm glad they won overall. I was shocked by that result, so I was just elated. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was on the couch and I
I
jumped up.
kind of I kind of had a feeling that it could be better for them when I saw the panel for like a bit more in their favor than the French's favor, and the French judge was taken off in between the short and the free dance, and I was kind of like, okay, it's a little bit more like lenient towards them. So I kind of had like good vibes, and then they were skating last, and it was like there was a bit of momentum, there were some things in their favor going into that, and you know they really proved everybody wrong. A lot of people had like concerns about Moulin Rouge because it's so overused, and they went out there and they just exploded with it, and there was this like crackling energy there where they just it was passionate and it was strong and it was just fire, like across the board fire. And I really feel like at an Olympic Games, that's usually what wins. If you like it's Tara versus Michelle in some ways, where like I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to like they're not Tara. I'm not gonna like compare them to Tara at all,
Yeah,
but
be
in the way of
careful.
like Tara was, yeah, where like Tara was exploding with energy versus Michelle, who was slightly more muted, and then Tara kind of, you know, she came away with it, and that was kind of the same thing here, except, you know, there's a lot of differences, and Tessa and Scott are better artists and stuff, but like in the general just energy versus kind of a more muted, soft performance, the energy is what carried it.
Yeah, and you're right. Moulin Rouge is a piece of music that's used a ton. But speaking from someone who hasn't seen the movie and who loves Ashley Wagner, I actually don't mind their free dance because it's different pieces, and I don't always
Mm-hmm.
hear the different pieces together, so I find it refreshing in a way.
You know, I actually saw the movie like a month ago, and it's not good. Like it's very just like frantic and stuff. But they really picked like the best pieces in such a way that's just I was pretty impressed by it, and I actually really love the program, and what a way to go out. This is like their last competitive event, which we're pretty sure that like it is. I mean, they're 28 and 30. If this is their last competitive event, what a way to like end a career.
That's right.
The most decorated Olympic medalist in figure skating.
Legends.
Just
gold medalists
legends.
in 2010 in Vancouver, silver in Sochi, and gold again.
I mean, Tessa is going to go on a commentator for Canada. Scott, I could see going back to like his hometown and being a coach. But they really are just, I mean, even just how they have appealed to the general public is impressive, because there were a lot of people who don't watch figure skating who were very into Tessa and Scott. And the French didn't get that. They didn't get that, like, love from the non-skating fan that Tessa and Scott kind of came away with that. I mean, they're being invited to, like, Comic-Con conventions stuff. Like,
Tessa has her frame line out somewhere. I've been seeing people take pictures of it and posting it on Twitter. It sounds like a big deal, like, you know, a classy kind of collaboration she has.
Oh, I want her to make, like, skating dresses with, like, Lisa McKinnon. I want her to have, like, a dress line. And, like, just get your coins, girl. Like, really, the best ever. I'm so proud of for me is their win, because I didn't think, even though I felt it could happen, I was so just jaded and cynical about it all that I was just like, it's not going to happen and everything is terrible. And then it was a good Olympics. So
yeah, you made an interesting bet. What was it on Twitter? You said that if Tessa and Scott won the Olympics, you would root for a Russian sweep in the ladies.
And I did. I followed through.
I saw your tweets. You did. But yeah, and so to all the viewers who are watching who are big fans of the French, please don't misinterpret anything we're saying. They're also amazing skaters. Like, if the French, I don't think it was possible for them to place any lower than second. They're just different from Tessa and Scott. It's all about personal preference, really, from the judges and by the audience.
Their To Build a Home free dance is still one of my favorites of all time. Like, I love that free dance. It was one of the best moments in Boston for me, and just, they're amazing. Like, they are going to go on and be legends. I mean, they're probably going to win more world titles than Tessa and Scott, Meryl and Charlie have combined. And that's impressive in itself. So they're on their way to their own legend status. But they're still young. They're only 20, their early 20s, whereas Tessa and Scott are, like, starting their 30s. It's just, they're young, and it's very hard to win an Olympics your first time out when you're that young.
That's right. They have many years ahead of them to be very competitive in the field of ice dance. Now, let's talk about the fight for the bronze medal. I made a bet, and I lost because I thought it was going to go to Madison Hebel and Zach Donahue. But rightfully so, it went to Alex and Maya Shibutani of the United States. Now, let me tell you something, Nicole. I have not totally been into that Paradise free dance of theirs by Coldplay, but it made sense to me in the free dance in the individual events. And I'm not the biggest fan of the Shibutanis. Don't get me wrong, I understand that they're amazing skaters, do amazing programs, just not my cup of tea. But wow, did they bring it at the right time with the right kind of emotion, and they weren't as controlled as I'm used to them seeing them out on the ice. So it was really nice to see them rightfully earn that bronze medal at the Olympic Games.
I mean, they were clean, and Hummel and Donahue made a mistake, and that's really what it came down to in the end.
I think
they were clean, Hummel and Donahue made a mistake.
Yeah, Hubble and Donahue even beat the Shibutanis in the program component marks in the free dance.
Deservedly so.
Yeah.
But I really wish that she had hair, because it kind of bugged me throughout the whole program. Maya, her hair was kind of just, like, coming out of, like, that braid. I liked the braid, like, a lot in her hair. I thought it was, like, really unique and kind of cool, and I liked it. But hairspray. Like, hairspray,
Oh, please. I didn't notice it.
Oh, I noticed it, both in the team event and here. I was just like, I have some hairspray here. I can mail it to South Korea, but it'd probably be faster if you just, spray it yourself. But I think that they are probably going to retire after this. That's just a gut feeling that, like, they're done. They got the Olympic medal, they have the world medals, but, you know, it was a good way to go out. They were clean, they were consistent, they got the medal, and good for them.
Yeah, and what was your reaction when you saw Zach make the mistake in the free dance at the very end?
If I'm being perfectly honest,
Yeah.
I was like in a ball, just like, oh my god, Tessa and Scott, oh my god, Tessa and Scott. It was
Oh,
just
okay.
like barely like, and I didn't even notice it because I was watching Humble and Donahue, but I was also like kind of not watching, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I was watching, but in my head, I was just kind of like not there. So I didn't really like notice him make that mistake.
He disguised
He
it
covered
well.
it. He did. Yeah, he covered it pretty well. I really love their free dance. I think it's one of the best free dances of the season. I just think that it's so just adult,
Yeah.
and it's mature, and it has a kind of like slinky kind of vibe to
Yeah.
it. It's just it's unique, and it's something that just kind of stays with you. I feel it's one that you kind of think about long after you've seen it, and
Yeah.
I love that program for them. I really hope that Madison goes back to the white skates, and I feel like every time I'm on here, I'm going to say that because one time it's going to come true, and then it's going to be like I can take credit for it. But she needs the white skates again. But I love her, but he is just amazing. Like, I think that he is maybe the second or third best male ice dancer in the world. He's that good, and they're very tall, but they're amazing.
Mm-hmm. And they're starting to get the marks they deserve. They're reigning U.S. national champions. That's a good step for them. So what I thought of when I saw that mistake was I went, Nicole, because you have said in the past that whenever the doors open for them, they totally ruin it. So I thought of that comment. And, you know, we go back to the wanting it a little too much, that they get in their heads.
I mean, I made that point after last year's Worlds, I think, was when I said that, and they started to kind of change that around, but again, it's like, how many times are they going to make that big of an error before the judges just say, you know what, it's going to happen again, we can't trust them, and it turns into a Tessa Virtue a la like the 2013-14 season type thing, almost, where like Tessa was making all these mistakes, and like, you know what I mean, where like the judges just stopped trusting him. I feel like that's kind of, it's bound to happen sooner or later with Hubble and Donahue, where the judges are just like, you know what, you can't trust him.
Yeah, watching them give their interviews, they're very focused on the results, especially Madison. It's like, you know, won't settle for third, won't settle for second, always wants to win. A part of me wants to recommend that maybe she goes out there and skates just for herself and not for the results. And I know that's the cheesy answer, especially for single skaters, but maybe that could apply to Hubble and Donahue a lot better.
I mean, like, the thing with her is where I feel like she's more nervy than he is sometimes, but I don't know. I don't even know what the answer is for them, because it's kind of just like they need, like, I feel like they need just one good season, I feel like, where they just completely own it, and then they can believe it because they've done it. They need to be able to, like, back it up at the big events. They need to be able to go into, like, a Grand Prix final, a Nationals, 4 continents, and a Worlds, and just hit every single one of those, get the marks, and then believe in themselves. Because I really feel like it's just they just need to have it all together for one season, and then good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe that could happen if the Shibutanis actually retire after the season.
And I think they will retire. I feel like Hubble and Donahue are, if the right retirements happen, I feel like they will be silver medalists at Worlds next year. Just like a
That
kind
would be
of,
great for them.
and I mean, who else is going to really do it? Like, if the Shibutanis retire, and I just feel like it's kind of like the momentum's kind of swinging their way. I could see it happening this year if, the Shibs didn't go and, like, the right people just weren't there. Um, and I think that would help their confidence a lot. Because I don't think that they see themselves as, like, Olympic champions. They don't have that, like, they don't have that just way of, you walk into the building and it's like, I'm Tessa Virtue and I'm the greatest thing that's ever happened. You know what I mean? Like, I'm Queen Tessa. Like, I don't see that Madison walks in the room and it's like, I'm Queen Madison, honey, and I'm going to win this. Like, I don't think she, like, sees herself that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think she's hungry. She walks in and gives off the vibe that she's hungry to win, but not so
Mm-hmm.
confident that she will win. Like Tessa Virtue's like, what? There's a
Yeah.
competition? Well, okay.
Yeah. Like, and Tessa's, like, gorgeous, and she just, like, has, like, screams perfection, and she knows it. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's kind of a difference where, like, Madison is amazing, but I don't think she really knows it yet. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it's coming, though. I'm
It's coming.
excited.
Let's hope. So the next team I did not watch. They placed fifth. The Olympic athletes
Count your
of
blessings.
Russia. How did they do? Did you see them in the short? They were close behind Madison and Zach,
Okay.
though.
They're not good.
Okay.
They are. They skate very far apart. It's like you could
Oh,
drive a
that's not a good
Toyota
thing.
between them. Yes, and um, they have a program. What is it with Russia now? Where we're doing programs that's like 9/11 and the death with Evgenia. Remember with the thing? Remember that? And this one was she's blind. So there's just
Oh, right, that one. I think they like being dramatic, but
oh,
not necessarily tactful. It's a Russian thing. I don't know.
I don't know. She never looks the same. It looks like she has had, like, plastic surgery almost every single time she skates, where it's like her face just looks different. I don't know what it is, but her whole face looks different every time she skates, and it's like, is that really her? And it's like, oh, wait, yeah, that is her. Huh. Interesting. But I don't know. They placed as high as they were because they were from Russia. Let's be real here.
Okay.
Um,
Did you think they deserve to be ahead of the entertaining Italians, Anna and Luca?
I actually like Anna and Luca a little bit more. I feel like they
Yeah.
have a little bit more, like, personality and sass. Like, the thing about Bobrova is that Bobrova is really pretty. But she's pretty, and, like, that's kind of a thing in ice dance, is, like, you have to be, like, pretty and fabulous. Yes, like a Madison Chalk who's, like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to have that just gorgeousness to you in order to really get high. And I don't mean to, like, look, it's true. You have to be, like, hot.
No,
And
it
she's
makes a
hot.
difference. Yeah.
It does make a difference, and she's hot. But yeah, their skating just doesn't do it. They skate way too far apart.
Do you
It's
think it's
part
their
of the
skating or
problem.
their programs? Because I've heard
It's both.
both. Okay.
It's both. They don't skate on very, like, deep edges. Sometimes the turns look difficult for them. Where, like, sometimes she'll do. It's like, oh God, hold that edge, girl. Like, hold that edge. And you're, like, rooting for her to just, like, come on, pull through, honey. But I mean, top 5 finish. Good job.
Mm. Yeah, too bad they were sixth. I'm actually surprised by the seventh
6.
place. Yeah, they were sixth overall.
No. I was talking about Bobrova.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Top
No.
five.
As far as Anna goes, Anna is pretty. She has a championship title. She can retire, and she's amazing. So, good for her.
Italy needs her right now.
Do they?
I think they could use her. She's got personality.
But she's like, okay, she's got the hot husband, and she could very easily just, like, coach in Italy and do very well there because I don't think that she's going to win again. It's not 2014 again, but like she's pretty and she has pretty dresses and people mistake her for Tessa a lot. So
That's
hey,
quite the
I would want to be
compliment.
mistaken for Tessa.
Me too.
I wish I was mistaken for her.
Okay, seventh place finishers here from Canada. I want to call them the Canadian favorite just because a lot of my Twitter followers love them. So Caitlin Weaver and Andrew Pogier. Andrew Pogier looks like a supermodel.
He does. That red dress, though, that Caitlin wore.
You like?
Oh my God.
I like.
I thought it was one of the best dresses of the entire event. I was just, like, blown away. It was stunning. It was no. The other one that was like two-tone red almost.
Yeah.
Was that coming off the shoulder?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. On one side, it had the spaghetti strap, and then yeah.
I'm reading about a dress that I'm like, really? That's how it looks. Huh? But in my mind, it's pretty.
No, it was very gorgeous. I'm surprised they didn't finish higher. It was a very heartfelt free dance that they skated to. They definitely had a moment. No twizzle mistakes. So I guess just a difficult field.
I mean, I kind of feel like they could continue and it would be like good because Tessa and Scott are done, so they could, gain a few more like national champion titles.
Go to the Grand Prix final again.
Yeah, they could do that again. The field's about to be depleted more, and there's about to be some room. But at the same time, I don't think they're going to be on the world podium again. So it's kind of sad. Like, it's kind of hard to watch them now because it's like a few years ago, we were really looking at them to take over the Canadian, like, dance dynasty that Tessa and Scott had started.
And it looked like they were going to.
Yeah, and then they almost won Worlds, and then they didn't win Worlds, and then they had a bad 2016 season, and it hasn't really gone back up. And it's kind of hard to watch them now because it's just kind of like, I remember the good times.
I don't know. I still have hope for them. They just need some new material. Some political backing from Skate Canada, which should happen.
They could go to Marina now, I feel like. They could go to her
maybe.
because the Shibs are going to retire, so maybe Marina would take them on, maybe not. But
they skate like they're in love every time.
I feel like there's about to be a lot of coaching changes within the disciplines because there's retiring, so I feel like there's about to be a lot of people move various places. Like, I feel like Caitlin Hawaii could go to Canada. I feel like Caitlin Weaver could go elsewhere in Michigan. There's just a lot of changes about to happen.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Did you watch the other Canadian dance team, Piper and Paul? Because I did not.
I didn't watch them here, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Yeah.
I've seen them before, though. I do.
Well, it sounds like they didn't skate to their best potential. I mean, ninth after the short and 8th after the free, but 8th overall. Mm-hmm.
They're original. And, I mean, that's really, like, what comes to mind whenever I think about them is, oh, yeah, they're unique. Like, they always go something that's different, and they try new things, and they're a pair that kind of has to because they have limitations. But I'm always excited to see what they come up with. It not always does it, hit the target of, like, bullseye, perfect program for them. But it's always different, and they always take chances, and they're not a pair who's going to skate to, like, Carmen for, like, 5 years in a row. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Something different.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say, something different for me was Madison Chalk and Evan Bates, just because I hadn't been feeling either of their programs all season long, and I don't know what it was, but that free dance to Imagine, it just made sense to me until the big mistake, the splat fall by the both of them, which means it was a 2-point deduction in the free dance, and that just ended things. I'm not sure, to be honest, how they were able to continue skating.
I mean, they had a lot of mistakes where, like, one time when I was skating, this is just kind of like a tangent, but I promise I'm
Go
getting
for
to the
it.
point. One time when I was skating, I was in the middle of a spin and my music stopped. And I was in a competition and my music just stopped. And it was like, what happened? And then it just kind of turned back on and I kind of just went through the program. But in my head, it's just like, you know, what just happened? And I messed up a bunch of elements after that because it's like you're not really thinking next. You're just kind of thinking about what just happened.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like they had that same thing where it was kind of like they weren't skating thinking about what's next, but more just kind of like going through the motions, and in their head they were kind of freaking out. And that's understandable. It's the Olympics. I really hope they go to Worlds in order to, you know, just have a clean performance, regardless of where they place. Just have a clean performance and be able to like look back for the rest of their lives and be like, okay, at our last competition, our last moment, we, you know, we made up for it. We skated to the best of our potential.
Yeah. Really unfortunate mistake there. And apparently that's not always common in ice dance, at least not that degree of a mistake.
No,
Yeah.
no. And then they messed up the spin. And the
Oh
spin,
no.
it either became like completely invalidated or I think it, actually, I think it was. And that lost them like a lot of points. I want to say like 8. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy. So is there anyone else you wanted to talk about? Because I saw nobody else that placed lower. Sorry your girl Olivia Smart wasn't around.
I was very sad about that. I think she was sad about it too because this was like she could have gone with her boyfriend and like they would have both been Olympians together. And, you know, I feel like Olivia Smart is a girl that like does better when her and Zach are like together sometimes. I feel like when they're at the same like events, I feel oops,
Oops.
my phone just fell and I didn't realize it. Oops. But I love her. She's awesome. I kind of want her to change partners because I don't really like her partner that much. But she is full of pizzazz and star power, and she's going to be in Beijing. I'm calling it now.
Oh, she's going to be in Beijing?
Yeah, just calling it now.
Oh, I was going to say, it's really early for confirmation, but all right.
Yeah, I just like know these things totally in advance.
Skating
Tess and
psychic.
Scott are going to come back,
It's a thing.
win another medal.
Cool. Well, this has been fun. Oh my gosh, the Olympics have been so draining, haven't they?
I feel tired. Like, I feel like I am just done
Me
with
too.
skating a bit.
I sit
where I'm
on
just
the
like,
couch.
I want a break.
Yeah, I sit on the couch for like 3 hours watching each discipline, and by the end of it, I feel drained, not only emotionally, but physically. And I was like, wait, I just sat on the couch. Like, what happened?
And there's still Worlds. It feels like the longest season ever.
Yeah. I may
I'm
skip
tired.
doing
I
a
want a
World's
break.
preview. I may skip doing a World's preview video just because that's so soon. Like, I'm so excited to get all my recaps done. So I can be like, woo, done with skating until Worlds. But no, like, if I'm going to recap or preview Worlds, that has to happen relatively soon.
Yeah, I feel you. I kind of just like, you know, I want to just watch my NCAA gymnastics and I want to focus on other non-skating things for a bit because I'm just like, whew, it's been a long season. It's been a long road, but it's been a good Olympics. Like, we've been pretty blessed as skating fans because it could have been a lot worse. Like, a lot worse.
We'll see what my friend Erin says in my next video because we cover ladies in about like an hour. We'll see her take on it.
3 out of the 4.
Okay, yeah. No, otherwise, I would say we've been relatively blessed in these Olympic Games.
Yes. That's what I mean.
Excellent. Well, Nicole, thank you so much for coming on and covering ice dance with me. Yes, I always love hearing from you. And then to all your viewers, stay tuned for my next video covering the ladies. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.